We outside living proof. Prophesying this place up in smoke like that nigga Snoop. Same crackers had you in slavery telling you get a noose. We got them same crackers coming bowing down, kissing boots, licking dust. Come get with us and you get this truth. Don't ask why I don't go to church. Ask Dylan Roof.
You got a question, man?
I'm just curious, I guess.
Where you from?
Huh?
Where you from?
Florida.
What's your ethnicity?
Scottish mainly.
Scottish?
Yeah.
You believe in the Bible?
I'm Jewish, so no, not
You're
really.
Jewish?
Yeah, I was.
Wait a minute. What, you say you're Jewish?
Yes, I'm a Scottish Jew. We're rare, but.
Have you been to Israel before, or do you have family in Israel, or are you like a convert, or what?
My mom was a convert, so that's kind of what the situation
Convert?
is.
What'd she convert from? Just regular lifestyle, or was she Christian or Catholic?
I believe she was raised Christian, and then I don't really know what the situation is. I don't talk to her that much anymore.
So, did she tell you were Jewish?
I'm sorry?
Did she tell you were Jewish?
She told me I consider myself religiously Jewish. I know.
What does that mean? Because I asked you if you believe in the Bible. You said no. So how are you religiously Jewish without the Bible? Because the Jews are written in the Bible, though. That's the only place it's written on earth. So how don't you believe in your own heritage per se? If you truly are a Jew.
I believe in parts of the Bible, I guess. Like I think it's called the Torah. Is like
the Torah and Tanakh. Yeah.
So I'm not all like that in touch with it. It's kind of.
You haven't really read it. You just.
I mean, I've read it once in the past because I kind of had to as a kid. Right now I'm just kind of trying to find my own way. I'm traveling the country a lot.
You're not from out here then? You're from Florida, like
yeah,
literally?
I'm from Florida.
Okay. Are you on a sabbatical? Are you going to like Jewish synagogues throughout the country?
Sometimes if I feel like it. I'm mainly just trying. I hated Florida. So right now I'm just kind of driving around the country, seeing what works for me. I'm kind of
just freelancing.
Kind of a drifter right now.
Okay.
So.
The Rolling Stone. Not a problem. You had a question?
He was able to just do all that.
Yeah. I mean, hey. So do the Jewish people take you into synagogues and support you on your journey?
They help sometimes. I've had a job since I was like 16.
Yeah.
Younger than that, so I've been saving pretty much my
Okay, so you're
life,
using your savings as traveling.
Yeah, like this.
Okay.
Like this is a journey I've been planning for years. It's not like I woke up one day and was like, I think I'm gonna drive around the country.
Okay, not a problem. So back to the original question.
Yes.
Your mom converted to Judaism per se.
Yes. And
She told you were Jewish.
She raised me Jewish. I know that, like, genetically speaking, I guess the Jewish people, I did not come from them, but religiously, like.
What Jewish people are you referring to, actually? Genetically.
Genetically.
Which Jewish people? Like, what DNA did you learn about that pertain to the people of the Bible? Are you talking about the people in Israel right now?
That's what comes to mind, but I guess that's kind of a small view of it. I've never really thought about it.
Well, like, I'm just going off what you're telling me. I'm trying to read between the lines as well as ask questions before I talk to you about what we're going to talk about.
Respect that, 100%.
So you don't practice Judaism, you don't read the Bible,
not actively,
but you believe you're Jewish still. You represent Judaism. You represent a Jewish nation. Or you just say that because you came up here.
I guess it's just what I've been told my entire life.
But you're really Scottish by blood per se.
Yes. And I've gone to Scotland, so I guess.
Okay. Don't worry about him.
Yeah. So I guess. I don't know. It's interesting.
Why'd you tell me you were Jewish?
Because it is a part of my life.
Shut up, beat up, push it in the Jews.
Hey.
Hey, man. The spirits ain't created for vengeance, man.
I've had worse days, it's fine.
I believe it.
I was raised Jewish, and I never paid much attention to it, and I guess...
Hey, brother. Brother, it's all good, brother.
Oh, this is weed. Alright. I don't got money.
Brother. You are my brother, man. What's going on right now, man? This is kind of crazy. Hey, man, you ain't running your pockets, man.
Nothing smiling. Where you from? Are you?
Oh, man, he pressing me. Give me Ciroc 38. Hey, man. Anyways.
So, to be honest, and you're the first person I've told this, so this is.
It's exclusive, okay.
I'm really glad I had this conversation. My Jewishness, I guess, is something that I was always told as a kid should be a part of my life. Because, and it's something that I regret not getting more in touch with. It's something I would like to learn more about currently. So it's hard for me to speak about it because when I guess I told you I was Jewish because it's...
You grew up with it. You grew up with that ideology.
I grew up with it, and I wish I still did. So I guess it's just me trying to speak that into existence.
How old are you?
Like, it is something I'd like to be more a part of.
Great. How old are you?
20.
Oh, you young.
Oh yeah, I'm hella young.
I'm here to burst your bubble, as they call it. You know what I mean?
Go for it.
Because
my bubble needs bursting.
you believe. Well, I'm not gonna. I can't really ask you if you believe in it because you don't really believe in the Bible itself, which is madness. Because the whole entire Jewish ideology comes from the book.
Right.
You don't read the book. Did your mom read the book?
She did, yes, and she still does, as far as I'm aware.
Great. Okay, but you're invited to the synagogue still, right? Because you're Jewish.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go up there and tell them you're Jewish and they let you in, or how does that work? 'Cause I'm not familiar with that.
What it is I imagine it's very similar to, like, church, I guess, where, like, on a certain day of the week, certain time, show up, hear what they have to say, get involved.
Oh, so they give lessons and all that, or what?
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of
like
places
a rabbi?
do. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
You can talk to a rabbi if you want.
Okay, great. So you do believe those people in Israel are the real Jews? Those are your people per se?
I've never really thought of, what do you mean by real Jews? That's not a term.
The people in the book.
People in the book?
The book that they get their ideology.
Yeah, I think, right. I think, yes, to a certain extent. I think there's been so much, with various cultures around the world, so much cross-pollination, I guess, where it's kind of hard to draw lines, like, for a lot of people, like, in the modern day, I guess. So, I guess, I would say from what I know, which I will admit, I don't know much about this topic, but from what I know, I guess they would be, like, the real Jews, I guess, but I'm curious if I'm wrong about that.
I'm going to tell you, before we cut to the chase, you're very, very wrong.
Okay,
those people are not the real Jews. I can give you several examples, first and foremost.
Fair enough,
Just one example. The land of Israel, if you read the Bible, the people that follow the Bible are supposed to follow what? The Torah, right?
Yes.
Which is the laws of God.
They go hand in hand.
Exactly. That's basically their heritage.
Yes.
We would say we're the Israelites of the Bible. We're the Jews and the Israelites of the Bible up here. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, the people that don't know who they are in this land right now, that were captured and conquered and colonized by Europeans.
Yeah, which is fucking tragedy.
Hey, man. Hey. It's self-explanatory.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh my God, word's not working. I apologize. I've had a long day. Like, I'm like white, so like I profit from it to this day. Like,
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people don't really recognize that. You're on stolen land, right?
Yes, I am on stolen land, and this system, that's the system and the people that stole that land.
Your people.
Yeah, my people.
Because they're actually from Scotland and England and all that type of stuff.
Scotland, England, all that. We came here and fucked it all up.
Along with the rest of the world, mind you.
Yeah, like
Africa, Australia.
Yeah, we came.
All of Europe.
We spread and fucked the world up.
Yeah, man, like a virus.
Yeah, and I am still profiting from that.
What do you think should happen for that? Are you a man of justice?
I like to think so, yes.
Well, let's just put it in perspective of a household. Let's just say somebody came into your household, your grandfather's household, killed your grandfather, left your grandmother, actually no, killed your grandfather and your grandmother, left your mother and father to cook their food, clean for free, had you, killed your mom and dad, left you there to do the same servitude.
try to fuck them up back as best I could. Yeah.
So you try to defend yourself, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
So transfer that to America.
Yes.
Do you think that should happen to the people that conquered this land? Including yourself.
Including myself.
Because you benefit, right?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. I believe. Ooh, this is hard.
It's justice, though, right?
Yes.
If you do that for your family,
yeah.
Why shouldn't the Native Americans, Hispanics, and Black people do it for their family and loved ones after 400 plus years of that?
Yeah. I mean,
So do you think that would be a reasonable thing to do?
I would understand.
As far as you would, but would it be justice?
Be justice. Probably. Yes.
Probably.
I believe so. And
Should it happen?
Should it? So, okay, in action, what does it look like? Is it like...
Give me, was it Exodus 21?
Is it like, are we talking like straight up...
Exactly how you described.
Like violent revolution type shit?
That's what you described to me, right?
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Same thing you described to me. Equal playing field, right?
Yeah.
That's justice.
I mean...
As it says in the Torah, an eye for an eye, right? Is that what it says in the Torah? You read that before?
Yeah.
It says an eye for an eye.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
So if that was to happen,
all.
there shouldn't be any issue with that in your eyes. Since you do that for your family, we would do it for our family in return, on the other side of the coin, right?
It's been fucked 400 years. Burn it to the ground. I'll probably help, and then like
You'll probably help.
Fuck off.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, because like I would love to like retire in Scotland. I would love to go back to that like the land my people came from.
Okay.
I think like. I do think there's so much beauty and culture there, but
I have some information on that too, but I'll let you finish.
Fair enough. But I also recognize that like we expanded and fucked everything up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I would.
And give me numbers 35. Give me numbers 35, and then we can talk about the Jewish people. I don't know what time you got, but we're gonna talk. I appreciate. What's your name, man?
Tyler. I have a stutter sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, Tyler.
Not a problem, man. I appreciate your dialogue. Go ahead.
This is
So
Exodus.
let's talk about the Torah. It's the Torah. This is things that we're supposed to live by, but this is what we live by as well. Read on.
Absolutely.
This is Exodus chapter 21, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And he that stealeth a man
He that steals a man. Read on.
and selleth him,
Is that what happened?
That is what happened indeed.
To who?
To your people.
Happened to Hispanics as well.
Happened.
And Native Americans.
Pretty much everyone else.
Go ahead.
My people.
Go ahead.
or if he be found in his hand,
Ooh, wait. Are we still found in the Americans' hand? Because this is our original homeland for the most part.
Yes.
Go ahead.
he shall surely be put to death.
This is how God feels. So exactly what you described, in your household, what happened to us for the last 400 or 500 years,
Yeah.
God already wrote that before we were even alive. So we would both be right.
Yeah.
You defend your household, your family,
Yeah.
and we would do the same thing. But in this case, your ancestors took our ancestors into slavery and we're still in your possession, correct? So God already pronounced judgment that's supposed to happen. This place needs to be burned to the ground. You and your ancestors have to die for it. I'm not saying it's going to happen by our hands.
Right.
I have an idea, I have a great idea how it's going to happen. Are you
I'd like
familiar
to
with
hear.
Vladimir
I'm
Putin?
very curious
Are you
about it.
familiar with Vladimir Putin?
I am familiar with and everything that's been going on.
And he's talking about pushing the button, along with North Korea, Iran, those type of countries.
Yeah, China
That's how
as
this
well.
place is going to burn to the ground.
Yeah, I can
By
see
that,
that.
and that's actually already ordained in the Bible as well. We can get to that, but I don't want to skip too far ahead. You got to do the new numbers? Read that.
From the top?
No, 35 and 37? 33, so
Numbers 35 and 33.
more Torah for you. What'd you say your name was? Tyler. Oh yeah, Tyler, go ahead.
So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
Don't pollute the land. Read on.
For blood it defileth the land.
Blood defiles the land. You believe in America this land is defiled by blood?
Oh, absolutely.
Because they killed, what, 100 million Native Americans,
God, probably more.
Hispanics?
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not including Central and South America.
Yeah.
Because according to history, 20 million people died out there as well. And then on the way over here, the Negroes came on the boats. 100 million died on the boats.
Absolutely.
So we're already at about 300 million body tabbed by the European man. Read on.
And the land cannot be cleansed
America's land can't be cleansed, read.
of the blood that is shed therein,
Yeah, the blood of people that already died, their blood can't be shed,
but by the blood of him that shed it.
so same thing we referenced earlier. Your people's blood has to be shed for the blood that you guys shed. Is that justice? This is God's word that you're going to study further on. So I'm talking to you.
I guess it would be. Okay.
So you agree with that, right? Justice, in reference to justice.
So, question
Uh-huh.
for you. What can I, as a white person, do to help?
To help?
Just-
In what way, though? Because there's a lot of things that can go in that word help.
That is true. I guess in tearing down this system that has oppressed literally every other type of person except
Uh-huh.
white people, what can I, as a white person with not much control within the system, what can I do to help make that change that needs to be made?
Well, there's a good thing you can do to help.
Yes.
There's also a seemingly negative thing you can do to help. Not necessarily saying it's for our benefit either, but I'm just going to give you the real.
Okay.
You can first and foremost start off by saying exactly what I referenced before. I haven't really got to that topic, but our people, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, are the Israelites of the Bible, not those people in Israel. That's what you can start telling people that you see on the block. You know, you don't have to go in depth, but just start telling them that because that's what we're doing. We don't have reach to go to everybody we see, but we're online. We're teaching in every hood in America, and especially overseas as well. But your job will be to do that first. Secondly, just stick with your own people. I'm gonna be real with you. There's nothing you can do to help us besides either first and foremost go back to Scotland before this place gets destroyed.
I would love
Because I'm pretty sure you don't want to get caught up in a nuclear missile.
No, and I know like a ton of people there, so I have people I can stay with.
I'm sure.
If shit goes down, that's the plan.
Listen, because America is going to be destroyed. There's a lot of things going to happen in America. There's going to be race wars. I'm not sure if you've heard of the Day of the Rope. Have you heard of that before?
I have not.
Look up the Day of the Rope when you get a chance. And it's kind of like a subtle racist plan that these quote-unquote white people have, that they're just kind of like withholding their racism for a time before things get ramped up.
Okay.
Kind of like they have KKK and Nazis and
Yeah.
all that type of thing. They're still around.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just not killing anybody anymore. They're not
Yeah.
burning down crosses in people's yards.
I've gotten into fights with neo-Nazis in the past.
Oh
They're here, I
wow,
know.
Satan guys are now Satan, you know? But I'm just saying though, you more than likely when that day comes, you're not going to fight against your own race, will you? Will you fight against your own race?
If they're not,
Because whose side are you going to go to?
the side of justice.
The side of justice. Okay.
I'm gonna listen. Here's my thing. I don't care when I'm standing with someone with a common goal. I don't care about their skin color. If we're here to fuck up some Nazis, we're here to fuck up some Nazis, and I'm gonna
Okay.
help. Because fuck the Nazis, fuck KKK, fuck
Okay.
racism, fuck this entire system.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being racist per se. All racism is basically saying my people are basically better than your people. Not necessarily saying that you're ugly or you can't dribble a ball or shoot the ball better than me, but just overall. The overall objective in reference to our ideology would be our people are better than you because God chose us first and foremost. That's what the Torah says.
Okay.
God chose the Israelites to be better than everybody else. Verbatim from the Creator.
Okay.
We can say it all we want. People say, oh my God, God loves everybody. All right, well, I mean, that's fine to say, but let's see what God says.
So
just to finish, you saying that you want to go against your own people, that's what the Bible says as well. So it's not a problem. We're going to see that regardless if you are on that team or not.
oh, absolutely.
But I'm just saying though,
It's inevitable.
when bullets start flying and bodies start dropping, I'm pretty sure you're either going to tuck your tail and run in the house and join their side, or just die alone with everybody else.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna accept you on my team.
Okay.
Even if you wanted to be, I wouldn't trust you enough.
Fair enough. That is your choice.
You're not our people.
Yeah.
Just like you say you're on stolen land, I would suggest you go back to Scotland and live there. Period. That's all.
I respect that.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. And I would try to join you guys, and I guess accept whatever answer I
Hey,
get.
there might be some black people that aren't on our particular wavelength as far as ideology that you might be able to join, like the Black Lives Matter movement. That's whatever.
Yeah.
But in this particular book, the Bible that we read, we're supposed to separate ourselves from our enemies. That's what the Bible says. you'll be considered our enemy. Even though you agree with us for the most part, I don't have a problem with that. But when it comes down to nitty gritty and us being uplifted and separating from as far as wickedness and things like that, you don't line up with us. So I'm pretty sure you don't want to die, right? You don't choose. You're not going to choose to die on purpose, right?
No, I'm not.
But we just read that justice means that your blood has to be shed for the blood of our ancestors. And I'm pretty sure you're not going to be, hey, it's my turn. Let me just walk up and
which
get a
is,
bullet to the head.
Which is, I guess, where some of like my own personal issues lie. I guess with
In
like,
reference to what?
just in reference to like my place in the universe. Like if what it says is true, and like I have to shed my blood, like
Well, it's a Torah, though.
yeah, which yeah. So
So
I guess-
if you claim to be Jewish,
Yeah.
you'd have to read this
So-
and apply it to yourself. If it's not being applied to you, then why would you even believe it?
right. So
So I don't have a problem with you saying you don't believe in the Bible. I actually prefer you stay that way.
okay. So one question: God chose these certain people,
Uh-huh.
and God loves these certain people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying you're wrong because you know more than I do, but why does God not love me and my people? Why was that the way from the start, I guess? Or did, like, what?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's actually written already.
Okay.
Give me
Let's
that.
hear it.
Romans 9. Romans 9:11. No, give me Romans 9:11.
You know these by heart. I love that.
Hey man, this is our job.
It's your life. I get
This
it.
is our job. This is what. Do you believe in who the world calls Jesus?
I'm sorry?
Do you believe in who the world calls Jesus Christ?
No, no, not in the Western sense of the word, because
Do you believe he was a man that existed at all, or
I do believe he was a man that existed.
just not the Messiah, right? Because that's what Jewish people teach.
Yes, I don't believe he was
The Messiah.
and I also don't believe he was white. I think that's
Great,
fucking
great.
ridiculous.
Of course, and that's a good point.
Yeah, that
And,
is-
and are those Jewish people over there white in Israel?
A lot of them are light skinned, yeah. So
No, they're not light skinned. They're white.
Yeah,
They're
fair-
from
fair enough.
they're from Poland. They're from Ukraine.
Yeah.
They're from Eastern Europe.
Makes sense.
Exactly. So that in itself debunks that to me and the real Jews, right or wrong.
Yeah, fair enough.
Exactly. And they get, and that's what I wanted to say earlier. This is a sidebar. Not really a sidebar, but I forgot to say this.
Yeah.
Those people in Israel right now, those white people, they have the second highest rate of skin cancer in the world. Why is that? If that's supposed to be their land, it's supposed to be their ancestors' land.
They haven't evolved for the sunlight there.
I mean, do you evolve in the sunlight? Because they got there in 1948. It's only less than 100 years ago.
Right.
So,
That's not enough time for
so people evolve. People can evolve. Is that what you're saying?
I believe in evolution, yes.
So people can adapt to their environment.
Not in a single generation.
How long?
Well, it takes thousands of years.
Thousands of years.
Yes.
Can you give me an example of that? Like in humans though.
In human example. Okay.
Yeah, people adapting to their environment in reference to the human race.
There's a tribe, I believe somewhere in South Asia, and their lands flood. Their lands flood, like I think every couple years, and their
Wet
hands,
hands?
they have, yes, they can swim more, and over the course of thousands of years, and generally I think they're one of the more like their tribes don't really connect with other people, so they kind of just, and yeah, that's.
Could that be a product of inbreed?
Possibly. I don't know their exact, like, the size of the population.
I think I've heard of that before.
Okay.
But
Well,
that's not what I was referencing.
yeah,
More
I'm
about
saying.
skin tone and the sun.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that stuff.
But if these people that are in the land of Israel today are the Jews and descendants of the ancient Israelites and are indigenous to Israel, why are they that color?
Oh, no. You're correct. I think you're correct. I'm not saying they're the real Jewish people. I don't think they are. I think that's perfectly true.
And not to tackle on to your point that you said that people evolve
I do believe
their skin tone according to their environment. Let's look at the Inuit, right? The Inuit that lived in Alaska, they've been there for thousands of years. Why aren't they white?
What do you mean? Why?
The Eskimos, why aren't they white?
Yeah, 'cause if you're in the sun, you get darker. If you're in,
Yeah, that
if
was.
you- if you're in a cold environment where
They're-
the sun's not really shining.
They're up there in the
no
Arctic.
Clue. No clue. I can admit when I don't fucking know. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. Don't have.
I'm glad you said that because that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Evolution is a flawed science first and foremost. It can't be proven first and foremost. I have heard of that web hand thing though. I have seen references to that. I don't know how long ago it was, but I do remember seeing something about that. But that's not we're talking about skin tone though. You know what I mean? But anyways, where are we at? Oh, you asked why doesn't God love me or my people? Things like that.
Yeah.
Give me that in second Ezra as well. 6. Go ahead.
Romans 9:11. I'm going to start up a little bit.
Start at.
No, just read 11.
For the children not yet born, neither have done any good or evil.
So the children. So in reference to you, obviously, the more you study the Bible, if you claim to be Jewish, whatever the case may be, you believe in a creator or you believe in evolution? Because those are two different things, actually. I believe in a form of evolution, but not that the Big Bang, everything started from nothing, that type of thing. I believe in a divine being that's created everything. Do you believe in that?
I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I said, like, I want to get back in touch with how I was raised. And
Yeah, because you referenced the universe earlier.
Yeah.
The universe is kind of like a generic
Yeah.
term. Like, what?
And I guess that's what I'm using right now because I guess right now I'm doing soul searching. That's why I'm going on.
Okay.
Like that's why I'm here
Great.
talking to you because I've spent like the last year pretty much zigzagging around the country, and I would eventually love to go all over the world
Definitely.
talking to people.
Okay.
I've spoken to so many people on so many street corners because I love to hear their viewpoints because I would love.
Oh, right there? Oh, great. We can talk to them in a second. But I'm going to talk to this guy.
Just because I want to figure out if, like, I guess I would want to find the truth that works for me. Or
I can agree with that. That's a great point.
Like,
That's a good thing, actually.
right now I'm comfortable admitting that I don't know what.
Yeah, you're
like,
still pretty young, so you got a lot to learn.
I'm very young. I'm constantly, I'm learning. I'm not sure yet, so.
Not a problem, not a problem.
Yeah.
As a perfect answer, actually, in reference to that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we believe in the Bible up here.
Yeah.
We believe in a creator, and like I said, we believe everybody on the earth today comes from somebody in the Bible.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about who you come from in the Bible,
Okay.
and also those people in Israel who are the same people, because they're all from Europe. Go ahead.
For the children not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election
That's the point. You got to read that slow.
for that the purpose of God according to the election might stand.
So the purpose of God according to election. So if you have a red hat and a blue hat, like, man, which one I choose? My favorite color is red, personally. I'm going to pick the red hat. Blue, that can go on the side somewhere. That's how God did it. These two children are born.
Okay.
Who I'm going to choose? Well, I'm going to choose this guy. Jacob. You were the other son that didn't get chosen. That's what it's talking about. Before you were born, before you did any good or evil.
So then I guess my next question would be, why did I not get chosen? What was the reason? What was my crime?
Well, that's not even the point. You missed it. We just read it. Read it again.
For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil,
So he didn't do anything. Read.
that the purpose of God
The purpose of God. God's purpose in the earth. Read.
according to election might stand.
So whatever God chose to do, that's why he did it. We could have been in your shoes.
Right.
And I would have been perfectly fine with that, because guess what? If I believe in God, hey, he already wrote it from the beginning. He wrote the end from the beginning. God already chose it, but according to what we read, we're the people that go through affliction to get to our perfect heaven, as they call it.
The reason God chose it is because God chose it.
Exactly. The creator of heaven and earth has power over everything moving. We can get that in a second. But that was the original point. God decided to do it, so he did it. Who are we to apply against God? Exactly. We can read that. Go ahead.
Not of works, but him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elders shall serve the younger.
So it's talking about Jacob and Esau. Jacob will be the person that will be the forefather of the Israelites. Esau will be the forefather of the Edomites, also known as the Europeans today. Read.
As it is written,
As it is written, read.
Jacob have I loved,
Jacob and the Israelites have I loved. You listening, Tyler? Read.
but Esau have I hated.
He loves Jacob and hates Esau. So he hates your forefather. Just because he decided to do it. No other reason. But there's also a catalyst to it as well, how it plays out in the earth later on, obviously over the course of time. Read.
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God?
Is there unrighteousness? That's your answer. That's the answer to that'll be your next question. Is God unrighteous for hating somebody just because? Read.
God forbid.
Of course not. God for what? You? No, of course, God does what He wants. Read.
For he said to Moses,
Uh huh.
I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy,
Read.
and I will have compassion on whom I have compassion.
I'm gonna choose who gets mercy from me. I'm gonna choose who survives a gunshot wound to the head. One of my friends that I grew up with got shot in the head. He survived. Someone else gets shot in the head, brains blew. You know what I mean? My other friend, my brother's best friend got shot point blank in the face, survived.
Yeah.
Other people, guess what? Head blown off. God can do whatever He wants. Miracles happen all the time. So anybody, any nation though, I'm not saying this as anybody that can happen to. I'm just saying in reference to the origin of our forefather, your forefather. God chose our forefather over your forefather. Read on.
Down to verse, let's go down to 20, 19. Thou wilt say unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will?
Who resisted God's will? Read. This is a rhetorical question though. Read.
Nay, but, O man,
You're a man in the flesh. Read.
who art thou that repliest against God?
Who are you to reply against God? The creator of heaven and earth, the creator of everything, nature, water, sun, moon, and stars. Everybody thinks this happened out the blue. Like, no, there's a divine being in charge of everything. And I have proof of that as well, my personal experiences. I'm not going to get into it, but I've told these brothers before, I've felt power, like a spiritual power, like save me from certain things. I'm like, damn.
Same. That's why
I'm saying.
That's why I'm going on this journey, because I want to figure out what that power
Hey,
was.
hey, it's a divine creator of the Bible. You got something else, Reed?
Shall the thing formed say unto him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus?
Why'd you make me the creator to be hated? That's what your question is, Reed.
Hath not the powder power over the clay?
Yeah, God's the potter. He puts the clay on the spinner, molds it into whatever He wants, and puts it out. That's how God works, Reed.
Of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor,
He made one vessel unto honor, Jacob and the Israelites, Reed.
and another unto dishonor.
He made both pots. I like this red one over this blue one. That's what he's talking about. This blue one, I hate that one. Get that out of here. I chose Jacob and the Israelites. I still created both things, but this one I'm going to treat special. I'm going to love this one. I'm going to hate this one because I don't like that. Read.
What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known,
God's going to make His power known. This is go back to your other insight that you gave about America being burnt up. Read.
endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
The vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. Like you go to get a tailored suit, they fit you perfectly, do perfect measurements. So there's people created just to be killed by God in the future. There's babies that die in the womb. People are like, oh my God, what happened? Like, why?
Yeah.
Talks about that as well in the Bible.
It's happened to people I've known.
I believe it. And I mean, it's in our viewpoint and mindset, it's a tragedy. Oh my God. In God's mindset, check off the box. And that's what people gotta understand.
Yeah.
Even in your shoes, we're telling you, your people are going to be destroyed eventually.
Yeah.
Along with America.
I'm sure that's accurate. My people, long time coming.
Exactly. So I'm just saying though, it might be a hard pill to swallow. You might not even think about it ever again. Who knows? But I'm just saying though, it will happen. Somebody is going to get this judgment, starting with America and the other nations. Not just white people, by the way.
No.
Asians, Arabs, quote unquote Hamites, Africans, things like that. Those people are going to get judged as well. The only difference is they're not going to be exterminated like Europeans do, because they're the ones that rule the world with the iron rod, kill everybody, rape, rob, murder, all that type of stuff. That's what God doesn't want. What you got? You had any questions before I continue? No, I need second Ezra. I forgot you said something else recently. Yeah, second Ezra 6. We can get another example. Read. This is what quote unquote Christians would say. God created everybody, so He loves everybody. I'm like, all right, well, I mean, that's fine. But then they also say they know that He chose the Israelites, which is true. But they say, oh, well, Israelites forsook God and sinned against God, which is true as well. But He also still chose us above everybody else, and God doesn't change. That's another thing people say. You agree with that as well, or as far as the concept? Because that's what people believe as well. God doesn't change. It says that in the Bible as well. Malachi 3:6 says God doesn't change.
Yeah, I'd say that makes the most sense. If, like, since they say He's all-powerful, there wouldn't be a reason to change. There's nothing that can change Him.
Exactly.
Yeah, we change because things force us to change. That is the catalyst for change. Nothing can force God to do anything, so that makes sense.
He created you. Exactly. Who are you to apply against God? The thing that formed, say to the Creator, why did you make me like this? No, I created you like that for a purpose, no matter what you feel.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam, also whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
Yeah, after the flood, Adam's descendants were the only ones that survived. So through this particular reference, everybody technically comes from one person, Adam and his wife, right?
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
It's talking about the Israelites again. Everybody comes from Adam. Also, the people that you chose from Adam, which is the Israelites, right?
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
God made the world for the Israelites' sakes, not those Jewish people's sakes, but the real Israelites' sakes. The people you see today, right?
As for the other people,
As for the other people that aren't chosen, right?
which also come of Adam,
They all come from Adam, but they're not chosen. Go ahead.
thou hast said
God has said what?
that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle,
Be like spit to God, right?
and hast likened the abundance of them
Like everybody else is not an Israelite, every other nation, read on.
unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Yeah, if I take this bottle of water, spill it a little bit, I have a whole bottle of water left. The water fall on the ground, it's nothing. That's how God feels, read.
57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen,
These heathens, these people that aren't Israelites, are not righteous, are not holy, read on.
which have been reputed as nothing,
They've always been known as nothing, read.
have begun to be lords over us.
Yeah, especially the white man. Asian man, Arab man, they own hotels. Everything that you see before you, you don't really see too many black businesses, do you? Why is that?
The system is stacked against them from the start.
I mean, God already set it up that way, but I'm not saying this necessarily a huge issue with us, but since we sinned against God, God allowed it to happen. But at the end of the day, God made the world for the Israelites to rule, because we're the ones supposed to be the flag carrier, if you want to call it that, for righteousness and holiness. But since we sin, He allows, okay, if you don't want to serve me, you don't want to serve everybody else.
One question that I just thought of, we haven't really touched on, but I'm super curious. So, you said that the blood of my people has to be, like, shed because of, you know,
The atrocities.
yeah, the countless atrocities, countless sins. Once that blood has been shed, the afterlife, like, I think, like, I'm a relatively kind person. Like, I think that, like, I can say I'm a kind person.
Subjective, but I understand.
Fair enough. Where do I go from there, I guess? Like,
What do you mean?
my blood has already, like... Okay,
Are you talking about like hell or something like that?
Yes, like, say that I die, my blood has been shed. That happened. Like, what it said happened. My blood, the blood of my people, has been shed. So, is it now repaid? Is it like, are we just all good now? Can we just all, like, kind of chill up in heaven together? Or is there still that lasting punishment? Or
Well,
is it...
we don't subscribe to that.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that.
That's Christianity.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Judaism don't even believe that.
Okay.
yeah. We don't believe in some realm of fire burning. Like we don't believe in that.
Yeah,
I don't have to say that anyway.
cool. I was
So-
just curious.
We don't. I wouldn't tell you that.
You're not gonna die and go to hell. Like that's
Cool.
ridiculous. Like that's not how it works. Where
Fair
you
enough.
at? What does it say? Well, I mean, we can get that. Give me no, give me 18. Give me over that 18. Give me Isaiah. I think it's 60. 60 and 10. Because this is what happened in the future. Because honestly, after you, because this is what's going to happen in a short story. The Israelites are going to go back into power, rule in Israel. I know who rules false Christ, whether you believe it or not. He's going to be the king of the world. The Israelites are going to reign under him. All the other nations are going to serve the Israelites, including your nation for a brief moment, 1,000 years actually, as it's written. And then, after 1,000 years, that's when you guys are going to be wiped out. So there is going to be no hell or no afterlife.
Oh, so we just like cease to exist.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're going to be out of here. You guys, your spirits are going to be all wiped out.
Just wiped
So
from
you,
existence.
exactly, you're not even going to exist anymore.
Oh.
Give me that in Job.
Cool.
You know
That
what I
makes
want?
so
Give me Job 30. Because it's written long before. We can get there. We can get there. So yeah, you're not going to go to hell and burn. That's not even relevant. That doesn't even make logical sense. For something, an immaterial spirit to burn in a material fire. That doesn't make any sense.
that is true.
Exactly. So that concept is just, that was a fear tactic that the Greeks and Romans used back in their time to scare people.
Yeah.
You're going to go to hell if you don't believe in what? Like, how do you prove that first and foremost? Like, do you know anybody that went and came back? Like, we're living in hell right now. The same people that you're looking at. Imagine having drugs pumping in your community.
Yeah, this place sucks. So
Yeah.
it's definitely.
I'm just
hell.
saying though, that's hell.
Okay.
And people are talking about what? Heaven on earth as well. This is the white man's heaven, the Israelites' hell. Because you guys run the world. You can charge anybody to go on a plane and go to a resort and charge you more for that. Charge you for water, which is ridiculous.
Oh, that is fucking ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying though.
Water,
When
food,
bro,
fucking the basic shit.
basics.
Like, should
room and
be-
board, like bro, what? Like it's crazy.
That's, yeah, it's fucked.
And it's a
The
system.
world is fucked.
Listen, and the only way it's going to get right is if you guys cease to exist. That's the only way. You guys have to be put down, out of power. Where you at? Job 30. Let me see. Or it might be 20. Get Job 20. My bad. Job 20. Read that.
This is Obadiah 1 and 18.
Actually, you can read 9 and 10. Go back there, because this is right there. Read on.
This is Obadiah 9 and 10, and then verse 18. I can even see. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mounts of Esau
Everybody that's an Edomite, read.
may be cut off by slaughter.
Be cut off by slaughter. They're going to die. Read on.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
So we're saying that the Esau Edomites are Europeans and Jacob and Israelites. So read that again.
On top. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob,
For your violence against Jacob, read.
shame shall cover thee.
Shame is going to cover you. Even though most white people don't even think about it. Oh, it's so horrible. You say, a lot of people say, oh, it's horrible. Okay, well, what should be done? But you will be I put it in perspective so you can agree. And I think Captain did it a while ago, where somebody comes into your house, they murder your family, you're left alive.
I'm gonna fight back. It just makes sense. It's just
But
human
guess
nature
what?
to fight back.
So by the time it comes for us to fight back, it's going to be at a point to where you can't defend yourself and you're going to be wiped out. That's what it's going into. Read.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee,
Read on.
and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Forever. You're not going to come back from that. Read.
Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire,
Read on.
and the house of Joseph a flame,
Go ahead.
and the house of Esau for stubble.
We're going to burn this place to the ground. Read on.
And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it.
The Creator spoke it. There's a
Use my
prophecy.
house for kindling.
Exactly.
Yep.
So there's not going to be any remaining. You're going to be wiped out. You're going to be gone forever. You know what I want, Job? Give me this. This is Job living in the land of Edom at the time, prophesying in the future prophecy of kind of what we reference here. Go ahead.
Job 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short?
The triumphing of the wicked is short. 500 years is a long time. But in God's eyes, just a blink of an eye. It says a day to the Lord is 1,000 years in the Bible.
Okay, that makes sense.
So-
yeah, in the grand scheme of things,
Exactly.
500 years,
It's a long time to us, but in reference to God's, he's just waiting. He's just looking down like, chess move right here. Checkmate. Go ahead.
And the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment,
Read on.
though his excellency mount up to the heavens,
Talking about the white man's rulership. Read on.
and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
That's what I was talking about, the Edomites. You're gonna perish forever like your own dung. You flush your toilet down, you never gonna see that again. Go ahead.
They which have seen him
They which have saw this Edomite, the white man read.
shall say,
Uh-huh.
where is he?
Where did he go? Where's he at? I could have swore he was just occupying that land. Like, what happened to him? Read on.
He shall fly away as a dream,
You're gonna fly away like a dream. You go to sleep, the dream's gone. You can't. Go ahead.
and shall not be found.
Uh-huh.
Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
Go ahead.
But I also which saw him
I also saw him. Read.
shall see him no more.
We're not gonna see you no more. Read on.
Neither shall his place any more behold him.
Uh-huh.
His children shall seek to please the poor.
Tyler, you read that? You see that? You read that? Read that again.
His children shall seek to please the poor.
See, you're trying to seek to please the poor. Us. You want to help our cause, but God say you're gonna do this. He wrote this thousands of years ago. Read on.
And his hands shall restore their goods.
Uh-huh.
His bones are full of the sin of his youth.
Yeah, whenever the Edomites started doing the wickedness, it says your bones are full of the sin of your youth. That's all you're known for, evil. Read.
Which shall lie down with him in the dust.
You're going to get buried in your sin. Just how you created nuclear weapons and all this artillery, when Russia's and the people over there breaking, what's the one? The break in, what's it called? The break in Russia, Brazil, India, and China. What's the other? Oh, the USSR. My bad.
Yeah, the USSR.
Yeah, the USSR.
Well, the USSR is no more.
Exactly, but it says you're going to put hooks in their jaw. But that's pretty much how it works, to answer your question.
Okay.
But we're going to talk about the Jewish man right now, since you claim to be that. Give me Revelation 2 and 9 real quick. Or you want to, actually, no, get what you usually get, Ezekiel 24 and 7. And give me Luke 21. I got a few more. I'm going to try to end this in a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 7 and 24. Wherefore, I will bring the worst of the heathen,
So whoever is the worst of the heathen, which are non-Israelites, read.
and they shall possess their houses.
Talking about they're going to possess the Israelites' houses. The Israelites got taken out of the land in 70 AD by the Romans. You familiar with that? So we already referenced earlier that you said Jesus wasn't white, right? And then I compared that to the people there today. So if they weren't white back then, that means they can't be white now. So the people that are possessing the Israelites' houses are those same European people, same as the Romans, same as the Greeks. Go ahead.
I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease,
Uh-huh.
and their holy places shall be defiled.
There are holy places, talk about the temple. So when you read the history of the Maccabees and the Greeks when Alexander first came into power and his generals, they went to their temple, sacrificed a pig on it, started having strippers and all that type of, basically compared to strippers today. It's called the Feast of Bacchus, which is more like Mardi Gras in this time, the name of it. But that's what happened. You defiled the temple of the Israelites by doing all types of debauchery there. Having a gymnasium, you know about the gym. The gymnasium was a Greek custom where men really walked around naked. That's what people do in the gym, right? In the shower sometimes. I've seen it. It's disgusting, but that's what they did back in this time. That's where it comes from. So, is that it? Go ahead.
Ezekiel 36 and 5. Therefore, thus says the Lord God,
Uh-huh.
surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen,
Uh-huh.
against all Idumea.
Or Idumea. Idumea is what? A Greek word to say Esau or Edom. That's the term that they would use to describe your people. Read it. So it's talking about he's gonna speak against you. So it's a prophecy against you. Read.
And against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into the possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey.
So that's what they did. After 70 AD, they went into their land. More in recent history, after World War I, World War II, that's when they wrote the Balfour Declaration. That whole quote-unquote Holocaust, that was kind of like a smoke screen to get them in that land. Because they weren't in that land before that.
Yeah.
You believe in the Holocaust? You believe that happened?
It's what I've been told my entire life.
But you're not really Jewish, though. You just converted to that, so you don't really have a stake in that, right? Or do you believe that happened to your people?
It did not happen to my people.
Okay.
I am comfortable saying that. It didn't
Great,
happen to my
great.
people. I am not personally, like, it didn't affect my life at all.
Exactly,
And I know
because
that.
some Jewish people will get flustered about that.
No,
oh my God, you speaking against the Holocaust? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
We just told you earlier 100 million people died over here. Only 6 million people died in the Holocaust, so, I mean, where's the comparison? And there's people dying every day. There's millions of babies dying by abortion that white people set up in our communities. So the Holocaust it pales in comparison. Even if we give you 6 million people, it pales in comparison. There's more than, 20 million babies that die throughout the last 30 years by abortion alone. And that was a eugenicist program by Margaret Sanger, a white lady that hated black people, a racist. She created Planned Parenthood for the specific reason to kill black people. So that's just another reason why people got to take these quote-unquote Edomites out, known as Europeans. But those Jewish people over there appointed land in their possession by trickery, by signing some flawed paperwork, and that's why those quote-unquote Palestinians over there are kind of mad at them. You know what I mean? Because they were living over there before those Jewish people came there. Even though those aren't the real Palestinians, that's not a problem. They're bombing. Israel's bombing those in Gaza Strip for what reason? Like why? Like what are they doing? They can't fight back. They say they have missiles and basically, you know, there's a law over there. If you throw a rock, you can get 25 years in jail. In Israel, right now. If I throw a rock at somebody in Israel, 20 years, no questions asked.
I don't doubt you.
It's ridiculous.
It's fucked over there.
Exactly. Because they know the only people that's going to throw a rock is the people that's not from Israel. You know what I mean? Do you have something?
Yeah, and also they're like literally the only country in the world right now that still practice apartheid. Like literally apartheid. While everybody was so upset about South Africa, Israel has been practicing apartheid since 52 or something like that, man. And America backs it.
Yeah, America sends them what, $3 billion a year or more, something like that.
Doesn't surprise me.
They funded their whole military system, that Iron Dome as they call it. But like I said, all that to say is that you represent being Jewish, neither here nor there. If you want to study it, be my guest. But those people over there in Israel, those would be considered the Amalekites. You're an Edomite, but you're not an Amalekite because you're not a real Jewish person. But give me that in Deuteronomy, real quick. I think 27, Deuteronomy 27. Or Deuteronomy 25, my bad. Deuteronomy 25 and I think it's 13. Because the creator of heaven and earth, the God of the Bible, he already prophesied about all this is happening. Like we referenced earlier. 25 and... Is it 27? Am I tripping? Oh no, 19, my bad.
This is Deuteronomy 25 and 19. Therefore it shall be when the Lord thy God hath given thee rest.
Yeah, when we go back into our land as a true people of God, when we go back to the land of Israel, read.
From all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
Amalek is the son of Esau. But in the Bible it says they're going to be basically the first of the nations. That's why all Jewish people run all the media, all the entertainment. Jewish people, you familiar with that, right?
Yes, I am.
Jewish people run everything behind the scenes.
In the Hebrew right there is Rosh, or Rosh, which means chief. They're chief of the nations. Right?
Yeah, they're the chief of nations. That's why the Jewish people run the world for the most part. The Rockefellers, what's the other family? The Rothschilds, those are Jewish people, quote unquote. Trillions of dollars in gold and all that type of stuff. But that's not the scripture that I was referencing that, but in other scripture it does say they're the first of the nations, meaning they're the top of the food chain. Go ahead. Even at Psalms 83, go ahead.
Thou shalt not forget it. That's it.
We're not going to forget it. We're not going to forget what they did. Them ruling, taking over the world, conspiring against us, putting us in slavery. They actually sponsored the slave trade. You familiar with that? They paid for the boats. They like if you look at the I don't know if it's a website you can look up like the slave boats, things like that. The people that were on the boats, they all had Hebrew names, but the people that are responsible were quote unquote Jewish names. You know what I mean? That's history. There's a book that I'm about to get. It's called The Secret Relationship Between the Blacks and the Jews. Look into that. That's a book, and look up the 13th tribe as well.
The 13th tribe.
There's a book called The 13th Tribe.
Okay.
Meaning, there's a Jewish man that wrote a book, Jewish man, mind you, said that if our people are the Jews, then there's a 13th tribe. Because he knows that they're not the real Jews, but he still claims to be Jewish though. That's how he was raised, but eventually he's like, man, this isn't our culture. So this is how you claim to be Jewish, and those people over there claim to be Jewish. He said the only way we're the Jewish is if there's a 13th tribe, because there's only 12 tribes in the Bible. That means they're not the real Jews. But let's get here. You want to what? Read?
Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O Lord, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God.
Read on.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult,
So God's enemies make a tumult. They make a rumbling. They're murmuring about the people of God. Read.
and they that hate thee
Uh-huh.
have lifted up their head.
So the people that hate God and his people. Who are these people? Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Uh-huh.
They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
How do you get cut off from being a nation?
You said cut off from
Being a nation.
being a nation by having it forcibly stolen from you, I guess. Yeah.
That's exactly the answer.
Yeah.
Because if you, let's just say, use you as an example. You're living in your own house. Kind of the same example I gave you before. But this time, when they go to kill your family and your mother and grandparents, they leave you alive, like I said. You don't fight back. But instead, they teach you to be somebody else. Hey, you're not a Jewish. You get to speak my language now. Somebody from Colombia goes there. Hey, you speak my language now. That's what happened. So when we get taken from our land, we go into Africa, we go into the Americas. We're not speaking Hebrew anymore.
Okay.
We're speaking English. These brothers are speaking Spanish. There's some people that speak French still. You know what I mean? Because the French conquered Haiti.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That type of thing. So guess what? If you're learning French and Spanish and English, you're not thinking, oh, I'm a Hebrew or Israelite. Like that's not how it works. So that's how it works. That's how you cut off somebody from being a nation. And you propagate it and you say, oh, well, you can be from Africa, but guess what? You're not from Israel, though. Read. You know about Kanye West, what he's saying right now, right?
I've heard that he's saying things. I haven't.
He's saying a lot of things about Jewish people, and people are getting mad. But why, though? The main thing is he's saying that black people are Jews. They're not saying that in the media, though. They're saying, well, you said something anti-Semitic. Like, wait a minute. What's anti-Semitic mean? What does Semitic mean?
Jewish, right? Yeah. Later.
I mean, no. It means you're from Shem
Okay.
in the Bible.
Okay.
Ham, Shem, and Japheth, you're from Shem. There's more than Jewish people that come from Shem.
Okay.
East Indians are from Shem. Asians are from Shem for the most part. Arabs are from Shem. So it can't just be Jewish people. If that's the case, the propaganda you're spewing against the Muslims, that's anti-Semitic if that's the case. If we want to be technical. Because they're from Shem. They're from Abraham too. You know what I mean? So there's a sick ideology that trick you to say, wait a minute, you're anti-Semitic because you're speaking against Jewish people. Wait a minute, black people are Jewish, are Shemites as well. So it's just a play on words. Say, oh, we're Shemitic. Like,
Yeah, they can't
that's ridiculous.
monopolize that.
Yeah.
They can't monopolize Semitic just to be unto them because there's many Semitic people on earth, you know?
Exactly. Keep going.
Okay? That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Exactly. So the name of Israel would be known by what? By way of force. By teaching us in school, hey, all you came from is slavery. Like, wait a minute, what happened before slavery? Well, they don't ever say that in school, do they? Black people came on slave ships from West Africa. What else? What happened in West Africa? Can you tell me about West Africa now? No.
I never learned about it.
Is that?
I guess
But I'm
that's
saying I didn't learn about it either, or
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yeah.
That's why we have to go back into our own history and read for ourselves. Because your people would teach us that, hey, come to America
And that's when it all started.
and exactly.
No.
White, the white man's the first creation, all this other garbage.
Like, I hate when people say, like, oh, the white people, they found America. No, people were here.
Exactly.
We didn't discover shit.
Exactly.
Like,
And then you
we
killed them
weren't
all
the first
for the
ones
most
here.
part. Exactly. They'll say that. The Columbus discovered it. What? No.
he didn't discover shit.
And quiet as kept, he brought Hebrew interpreters with him because he knew the people that were here, the indigenous, Like he went to Puerto Rico, quote unquote, Hispaniola, Haiti, and Dominican Republic as well. He brought Hebrew interpreters with him because he already knew. Because there's a movie called 1492, because that's when he came, obviously. In the movie 1492, Columbus is talking to I think it's a King Ferdinand or
Who's talking to one of the officers?
yeah, like some officer from Spain or something like that, because he was a quote unquote Spaniard. But he's like, oh, we're gonna go further west. He's like, why? It's like, oh, because there's a land over there beyond the Great River, what's it called, the Atlantic Ocean. It's like, how do you know that? So, oh, because Ezra. He's like, what? Ezra? You talking about the Jews? Like, don't believe them. Like, how come Columbus already knew about the Jews and Ezra in the Bible if he didn't know that they were over there already? He already knew that. But history would say, oh, he discovered this place. No. He knew that the Israelites were already over here because the Bible already spoke about that. We didn't talk about it, but it's in the Bible. And the parts of the Bible they actually took out in the 1700s. Read.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
All these people that hate the Israelites consulted together with one consent. They all came in one mind and had a think tank to go against the Israelites, the real Israelites, right?
They are confederated against thee.
Read on.
The tabernacles of Edom.
Who?
Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom. Who's Edom?
He was the white person, right? Yeah.
Europeans.
Yeah, the Europeans.
This is the biblical name, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the first name that they said. The chief person that's the enemy to God's people. The quote-unquote white men, Edomites, right?
And the Ishmaelites.
Who are the Ishmaelites?
One of the non-white people, I believe.
But who are they today?
Who are they today? You have it somewhere here, right?
No, we don't have anything here.
No? Okay.
But you should be familiar because it's kind of common history. The Ishmaelites will be the Arabs.
Okay.
Those they come from Ishmael in the Bible. And if you ask any Arab man in the liquor store or whatever, hey, who are you from Ishmael? Yeah, I'm from Ishmael. Because they know they didn't lose their heritage. Read.
Of Moab.
Moab. Moab will be the Chinese. Go ahead.
And the Hagarenes.
The Hagarenes are subsets of Arabs. Read.
Gabal.
Uh-huh.
And Ammon.
Ammon would be the Japanese. Read.
And Amalek.
Amalek. Ooh, we read about Amalek earlier, right? How we're going to go back to the land, they're going to be blotted out. See? But we read it in the first verse, Edom, and then it says Amalek. Why does it separate the two when they both come from Esau? Why do they separate both Edomites from each other?
I'm not sure.
We said it earlier. Because Amalek is the chief of the nations.
Okay.
They're the head honcho on the earth right now, the Jewish people.
Okay.
So even though Amalek is an Edomite, he's above his Edomite brethren. That's why the Jewish people are still in charge of like regular, like Donald Trump. Donald Trump isn't a Jewish man. He's white, but he's not a Jewish man. There's certain actors aren't Jewish, but they're still white. They're still Edomites. But the Jewish people are that much more powerful than their other white constituents. You know? And that's why it separates them here. Because Edom is all Europeans. And obviously the Jewish people are European as well. But it still separates them here because they have the prominence over the world. And that's how God set it up. But is that it? So that's pretty much the breakdown of that.
Okay.
Everything's in the biblical sense. What you got? Oh yeah, that's what I want. Read.
This is Exodus 17:16. For he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Give me the chief of the nations. God's going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Why? Because they conspired against the Israelites just like the other nations. But since they're so crafty and they converted to Judaism back in, I think, did you say that earlier? About, you were talking to somebody else when you said that, right? About Khazarian Empire? Were you talking to somebody else when you said that? You talking with somebody else, weren't you? Yeah. Because basically the people that claim to be Jewish today, they came out of an area of a Khazarian Empire, like Eastern Russia, like you referenced.
Okay.
So, Eastern Europe, Western Russia.
Got it. Okay.
So around 700 AD, they were. I think the Crusades were going on at that time.
Yeah, one of them.
And they were like torn between Islam and Christianity. They're like, man, we don't want to get involved in this because we got to choose a side. So they chose Judaism. That's what they chose. So ever since then, they started practicing Judaism, infiltrating certain systems through trade posts, things like that, influencing people through democracy. That's where democracy comes from. Europeans, like Rome and Greece and all that type of stuff. That's when it first was prominent. Oh, instead of you just being a king, let's just have some votes. When that's corrupt as hell. Because they can kill somebody, hey, I know he's going to vote for him, let's just go and kill him and whoever supports him. So put fear in people. Oh my goodness, he was going to vote for this way, so now they killed him. Let's just stop that and vote with them out of fear. That's how it works. It's all a smoke screen. But anyways, you know what I want? What you got, read?
Deuteronomy 25:17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee, by the way, when ye came forth out of Egypt. How he met thee by the way and smote the hindmost of thee.
Exactly. When the Israelites were left Egypt in the Exodus, the Amalekites killed people that were lagging behind, like the elderly, the injured, things like that. Kind of like a cowardice, like he was cowardly. He killed people that couldn't defend themselves. And that's why God doesn't like him, right?
Even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, he feared not God.
He didn't fear God. Even though you hear about the miracles of God saving the Israelites, splitting the sea, bringing them out of Egypt, he didn't fear God, right?
Therefore shall be when the Lord thy God hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it.
Yeah, that same thing we read earlier, but that's just more of a context of why. You know what I want? Go ahead.
This is Numbers 24:20 in the Good News Translation. Then in his vision, Balaam saw the Amalekites and uttered this prophecy. Amalek was the most powerful nation of all, but at the end it will perish forever.
Yeah, the most powerful nation of all. Why? They run the world now. That's a future prophecy, because they haven't perished forever yet. They obviously run everything on earth right now. The secret societies are run by them. You got to get down or lay down. But that's pretty much the basis of it. Those Jewish people over there aren't the real Jews. Those are Amalekites. Those are Edomites from Poland and Ukraine and Germany, whatever you want to call it. It's all folly, man. Did you have any other questions, man?
No, I think that's it. Is there like a place I can like read up about this, like read more about this?
In reference to what? Our message or the doctrine or?
I don't know if you're like an organization.
Oh, we're definitely an organization.
Okay, is there?
Let's look up the Hebrew Israelites.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Obviously, they guys labeled as a hate group, which is whatever. They don't say anything about KKK, but we're the hate group.
Yeah.
And they actually have us labeled as like future terrorists. That's what they have us labeled as. But why though?
It's a word they throw around a lot.
But if we're future terrorists, why come they don't arrest us and throw us in jail and we haven't done anything? We're not planning on doing anything. We're not planning anything. We don't have any pipe bombs or we don't have any of that. Like why?
We don't promote violence.
Yeah, we don't promote violence or anything. All we're here to do is defend ourselves if anything happens.
Yeah.
We're not violent. I mean, we might say things to rile people up and get people angry, but at the same time, we're angry about people getting killed on their watch.
Yeah.
And no justice being served.
Fair enough. Like.
And there has to be a spiritual awakening amongst our people. That's our main message to our people. There has to be a spiritual awakening to who you are according to the Bible, because the Bible is being misrepresented and misused by your people as well. That's who introduced Christianity. Our people love everybody. Right? Like, so you killed me, I still gotta love you and forgive you. Like, that's not how it works sometimes. We're committed to forgive our own people.
Okay.
And there is a context for somebody else dying for you being killed. But that's how it stops. Right. If somebody kills somebody that I know, by law, if they're not in a sanctuary place, it says we're allowed to kill that person, depending on what happens. Yeah. We're not allowed to just perpetuate like gangs do today. Right. You kill them, we're going to kill you for 30, 40 years. Like what? If they were keeping the laws about God, one person would have died and one person would have died on that side. That would have been it. We would have been going back to peace. But obviously, everything is for a purpose. In all actuality, like I said, everybody's not going to get this message, even from our people. Everybody's not going to get this message. But at the end of the day, we got to keep this word going forward. From Kanye's mouth to our mouth, everybody across the world is Israelite. They're going to have to learn before this place gets destroyed. Yeah. We have anything else, man?
No.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, just look up Hebrew Israelites, man.
Okay, cool.
There's plenty of information, all type of videos, whether you believe it or not.
Yeah.
Go look it up. I'm pretty sure you'll hear a lot of Jewish sentiment, as far as negative sentiment, that is, including with quote-unquote European men. Yeah, just look it up, man. Yeah. Tell your mom, tell her to look into it. She probably won't like it, but, you know, at least you heard us out, you know what I mean? Appreciate your time, man. You go into slavery, but I appreciate your time. Read.
Sirach 23:27, and they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of Yahweh.
Read on.
And there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of Yahweh.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want people to see, taste and see that the Lord is good, as it's written. Keep the laws of God. Even though there might be bumps in the road, turmoil every now and then, clashes with your family and wife and friends. But guess what? At the end of the day, as long as you serve the Most High, He's going to make sure you're on the up and up and have peace of mind. Read.
It is great glory to follow Yahweh, to be received of Him is long life.
That's what we want. That great glory, rulership of the kingdom, rulership of the world, having no pain, peace, prosperity, everything that we hope for. And that's going to be achieved once the elect gets here, the 1/3 gets beamed up, and we get in our right minds before that occurs. You know what I mean? That's our message for today. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh. I want to give all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, by Shem, Mashak, Yahweh Shai, and say Shalom, man.
Shalom.